everyone, Abby McKenna here, also known as Abundant Abby. How are you on this fantastic Tuesday? I am sitting in Perth. It is pouring down with rain here, so hopefully there's not too much disturbance in our reception and you can't hear it too much. If you have problems hearing me, let me know. But over the next few days, I am going to be doing a series of videos and, sorry, I've just received a message that said just wait for us to get on. So I'll do that. I'll yabber on for a little bit and then, so I've had a huge day today. For those of you guys that don't know, I have been doing a detox, a 21-day detox. I'm 8 days in. I've lost a couple of kilos. Chemicals are obviously coming out from my skin, so I don't have anything on my face because I don't want to interrupt that oh, look at that. Lovely, like that, see? Because I don't want to interrupt that process. The people are starting to join us now, so over the next few days, let me know that you're here. Give me a thumbs up, say hi so I can see you and I can talk to you. Please, please, please get engaged on this post. Because the next few days, I'm going to be doing a series of lives for you guys about living as your true self, living the life that you truly deserve and what it means to live as your true self, sign that you're not living as your true self, how do you find your purpose, some really great, awesome stuff to help you guys to move forward into whatever life or whatever goals it is that you want. So if you have things that you already know, put them down here so we can discuss them. Yeah, that's what it's all about. I don't want crickets. Come and join in. Show me who's there. So today, the first live that I'm going to do in that series is recognizing the signs that you are not living as your true self. Recognizing what's happening in your life to suggest that you aren't truly happy and you're not being true to yourself and you're doing something that you weren't born to do, that you weren't made to do. You know, I've had a number of clients say, Abby, life is such a struggle, and we've had conversations about, is it actually life that is a struggle, or are you struggling with yourself because you're not living the life that you want to live? Okay, so I wrote this to myself. My kids are going to start coming in, so please excuse me. Come and say hi, Ayla. So I wrote this to myself a couple of days ago. All right, and I'm going to start with that. I'm going to be completely honest and completely raw in all these because you may have picked up there's a fair bit of transition happening in our lives, in my kids and my life. There's a fair bit of change. So I wrote this to myself in my diary before I wrote my intentions the other day. To say things in my world are not changing is an understatement. I'm constantly transforming, and what is happening at the moment in my life is possibly my biggest transformation. Now my active affirmation to myself. The difference this time, however, is that I'm accepting that there is change and I'm moving forward without fear. Trust me, I've had to be mindful about this. With change becomes change. It throws us out of our comfort zone, and the funny thing about venturing beyond our comfort zone is that it's uncomfortable. I welcome my true self, and that makes growth and transition easier. So that was my little thing the other day, and I thought, right, I'm just going to share this, be completely vulnerable about the change that's happening in my life and the reasons that I am able to accept this change and move forward with excitement under these stressful circumstances, you know, easier than I would have before I was living my true self. So what are the signs that you are not living as your true self? What can you do? What can you look at? What can you ask yourself? My daughter's being a nut, sorry, that you're not that you're not living as your true self. You're not living the life that you were born to. You're not living your birthright. The first one is, do you feel a sense of falseness? Now, have a think about that, because falseness can come in funny ways. And one way is that to recognize that is that if someone comments on our life, you know, it could be parenting styles, our business, choices that we make, are you offended by what they're saying? If you're living your true self won't be offended, because your true self is big enough and grounded not to be offended by what others think. Please don't trust that baby. Sorry, here's reality. I've got a 3-year-old trying to break open my live setup here. So that's the first one. All right, then there's really basic things. Are you unhappy or are you unhappy? How often are you unhappy? What are you unhappy with, or what are you happy with? Do you go about, and this comes to that falseness and being offended by what other people might say about your actions. Do you spend a lot of time caring about what others think about you or their perceptions of you? Because if you're living as your true self, and we will talk about this later on, I guarantee you won't care about what other people think. Hey, Stace, how are you? I'm just going to move my light because I've seen that you've said hi and I can't see it. Because if you're living, come here, baby. If you are living as your true self, the perceptions of others don't matter because you're so involved and you're so grounded and happy and fulfilled by what you're doing that doesn't matter. That TV doesn't work, baby. Just wait a second. Reality. Sorry. Okay, are you often frustrated, fearful, or anxious about current situations or your future? If that is something that is happening with you, if you're scared to move forward, if you're trying to make decisions, if the thought of work, if the thought of going to work every day or waking up in the space that you're in is causing anxiety or fear, that is a sign that you are not living as your true self. Now, this is a massive one. This was one of the biggest wake-up calls for me. And over the course of this, I'm going to read you guys some diary entries that I wrote to myself when I was struggling with life. But I worked out it was actually me I was struggling with because I wasn't being my true self. Okay. Do you believe that you deserved to settle for just the way it is? If you think that you are only worthy of just the way it is, that is a sign that you are not being true to yourself, you are not living your purpose, and you are not living your true self and the life that you deserve. And we'll get into these as this video series goes along over the next few days. Are you waiting for someone else to create change or something to change in your world? If you are living as your true self, you will create the changes that you need to be happy, to be successful, to be fulfilled. If you are sitting around waiting for someone else to change, whether that's in a relationship, whether that's their attitude, whether that's their actions, if you're waiting for something in your world to change, some luck to come up, something in a job, that is a sign that you are not living your true self. And the last one, and I put this one as the last one because it's really basic, and this is something that is coming up time and time again. Please say hi to me, guys, so I can see you all popping up, but I don't know who is there. Do you feel suffocated or unfulfilled in what you're doing at the moment, in the life that you're living? It might be in your work, it might be in your location, your physical space, it might be in your own head that you're feeling unfulfilled and suffocated. It might be with your daily duties. I'm going to be really honest with you. At the start of my stay-at-home mum venture with Ayla, when I had my first baby, it was horrible. I'd get up and I'd go, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, I've got this to do. And I was so suffocated and unfulfilled by my day-to-day because I was settling for the way that things just were. And I was too fearful to change or too fearful to move because all of a sudden I had this baby and I had to get these really important things done as a mum. Yeah, I had to cook, I had to clean, I had to save money, I had to budget, I had to make sure that I had a job to go back to rather than looking deep down at what I was doing. Stacey says Nigel won't say hello, but he's watching. Hi Nigel, how are you? I can't wait to meet you in person. You have an amazing woman. You are very, very lucky. Hey Robin from Canada. Robin is one of my Freedompreneur sisters that is on this journey and is creating her true life and living her true self at the moment. Follow this lady. She's a legend. Robin is starting a respectful relationship service. I'll get her to come on here and Stacker to talk about what they're doing later. But these two ladies that are commenting, thank you for coming on here and saying hi, guys, because these are guys that did these things, that recognized these signs, that realized that they weren't living the life they were born to live, that they weren't accepting abundance as their birthright, and they weren't living them true selves, and they've gone out and created change. And comment for me, girls, was it scary to create you're sweet and you've got a cool accent? Comment for me, girls. Let everyone know who's watching. What was the wake-up call for you guys to realize that you weren't living your true self? Was it scary to create those changes? So yeah, she is. These girls hang out. We all hang out in an online space now, so we know each other. Feel free for everyone else to join the conversation. So there you go, guys. That is my live on recognizing if you are not living your true self, if you're not living the life that you were born to live, the life that you deserve. So if you answered yes to those questions, have a think about that and see if there is things that you want to change. And then join us on here because, as I said, I will be sharing a lot of personal diary entries like I did tonight. And I'm going to be doing a series over the next few days about living as your true self. What does it mean to live as your true self? What does that look like? The signs you're not living as your true self. Why do our kids deserve for us to live as our true self? How can we find out what our true self is and what our passions are? I've got a light here so I can't say, hey Greg, Greg's on too. Greg's been for a run today. Greg's making changes in his life too. He's making positive changes, which is really great. Robin says, it was scary. It feels so much better living in alignment with my dreams. That is so true, isn't it? When you start living in the place and the space and doing the things that you believe that you're meant to do, everything just sort of starts falling in around you, and it's like a big smash in the face, and you sort of go, what the hell was I doing before? Why didn't I realize I was deserving and worthy of this before? And as I said in my diary entry, Stacey said it was never being around for the kids. That was a massive one for me as well. I was letting other people bring my kids up, and I was so unhappy with that, and I was so unsatisfied with that. And that's, we're going to talk about why our kids deserve us to live as our true selves as well, and the impact that's going to have them throughout their lives and adults. So thank you for that, Stacey. But as I said, with living in alignment, sometimes to work out what your passion is, what your purpose is, what your true self is, means getting outside of your comfort zone. And I wrote here in my diary entry, the funny thing about venturing beyond our comfort zone is that it is uncomfortable. So once you recognize that you're not living as your true self, you will have to venture outside of your comfort zone, and there will be uncomfortable things happening, but they'll be uncomfortable. They won't be unhappy. They won't be suffocating. They won't be, dissatisfaction and the things that you're feeling when you're not living your true self, when you're not being honest with who you are and what you deserve. So, and Stacey also wrote, having a passion to share with people. Yeah, brilliant. And that's something that I'm doing, something that Robin's doing. We're taking our passion and our purpose and our true self, and we're bringing it to this online space for you guys so that we can help others to do the same thing. So thank you so much for being engaged, my Freedompreneur sisters. Greg, great to see you all. I hope this was helpful. Please join me again tomorrow. I've got to go and see that child. My mum's out there. I'm not just leaving them screaming, I promise, but I'm going to help her. Join me tomorrow, where we're going to do a live and talk about what living as your true self actually means, what that language means. So what does that look like? What does that mean? I would love to have you on. See you tomorrow. Please like, comment, share. My little homie's going to say bye. Dad's on there. Say bye, Dad.
Bye, Dad.
Got to cut her fingernails. Look at this. Her and her sister have been fighting. All right. Have a beautiful night. See you later. Do you want to press the button?
Yeah.
Press the one that's with the F on it.
That one?
Yeah.